Winter's coming, boss man.
So it's that time of year, the time we need to winterize our bikes. Today I'm going to show you how to winterize your Honda Navi, prepare for a long winter storage, ensure that all the fluids are clean, so in the spring when you take the cover off of this thing and get it out of the garage, it's going to fire right up for you and you're not going to have any issues. Here are the materials we're going to need to winterize the Navi. First up, we're going to need some oil. I'm using Honda's GN4 10W30 SJ. We're also going to need some trans oil. This is Honda's HP Trans 80/85 weight. We need a fuel stabilizer. I'm using Sta-Bil. This will treat up to 10 gallons of gas. We need to wash the bike thoroughly. That's one of the most important steps. I like using Muck-Off's biodegradable motorcycle cleaner. This stuff works great. All you have to do is rinse the bike, spray it on, let it set for about 5 to 10 minutes, rinse it off, very little scrubbing. When cleaning the bike, two tools that I find invaluable are a soft bristle nylon brush and compressed air. The brush will let you get the grit and grime out of those hard to reach places. The compressed air will help you push the water out of those hard to reach places, allowing for a faster, more complete dry. We also need some form of cover for the bike. This one's not open, this is actually for my Vulcan. There's one on order for the Navi, but this is by Favoto, F-A-V-O-T-O. I'll put a link in the description for the one I ordered for the Navi down below. Last but not least, we're going to need some way to maintain the battery. I like the Battery Tender Junior 800. 5-year warranty, lead acid, AGM, and lithium battery safe. The first things first, put the key in it, start it, and take it down the road. We need to put at least 10 miles on this thing. We need to loosen everything up, check the state of it, and we need to get the engine and the differential warmed up because we're going to be changing the engine oil and the diff fluid before we park this thing. So if you need instructions on how to change the oil or the trans fluid on your Honda Navi, you can refer to the owner's manual that was provided with the bike. And I'm also going to be putting a link below to a video I did showing step-by-step on how to change the oil. Okay, so our next step's pretty simple. Once we've changed the oil and the diff fluid, we need to come to the fuel switch and turn this to the solid circle here. That's going to shut the fuel off to the bike. Okay, so with the fuel off, we can move on to the next step, drain the fuel out of the carburetor. This is an incredibly important step that needs to be done. We don't want to leave gas to stale and gum up inside the carb or the rest of the fuel system. So my factory carb sitting up here on the bench, which works out for showing you guys. I've replaced mine with the Pellini CP. I might put a link down in the description for that as well. But if you look here on the bottom of the bowl, there'll be a rubber hose coming off of here. On the other side, there we go, you'll see a common headed screw. All you have to do is back this guy out a little bit and the fuel will drain from the bowl of the carburetor. Now make sure when you do this you have something down there to catch the fuel. You don't want to just dump gas all over the ground. It's not ecologically or economically responsible thing to do. Glass containers work well, mason jars, something like that. Alright, so we're going to take this thing out and give it a good wash. Like I said earlier, I'm using this Muck-Off biodegradable stuff. It works pretty well. You just want to make sure that you get everything clean. Go over every part of the bike. Give it a good scrub. Don't leave any mud, heavy dust, anything caked on it. Because mud traps moisture, dust attracts moisture. And anything that's going to keep moisture on the body or any of the metalwork of your bike can cause corrosion. And we want to make sure we get it thoroughly dry. So have some cloths on hand and a little compressed air helps a lot. You're going to be able to get into those tough to reach little places, blow the water loose. It's best to do this on a nice sunny day. Like today is definitely not. It is wet and nasty outside. but I've already washed mine. Let it sit out, let it get dry before you pull it back into the garage, or if it's not in a garage or a carport, before you put the cover on it. Alright, so once we've washed the bike and thoroughly dried it, the next step is to go on to battery maintenance. So this is pretty simple. All we need to do is remove the seat and this battery cover, which is just a simple little Phillips screw there. Back it out, it comes right off. Then that's going to give us access to the battery terminals. We're going to disconnect the negative and positive leads to the battery. Now if you live on the frozen planet of Hoth, it's a better idea to take this inside where you have heat to extend the life of your battery, but not necessary. Now if you did switch to lithium ion, that is absolutely necessary. Lithium ion batteries do not survive freezing temperatures for very long at all. Once we've disconnected the terminals, if we're using the battery tender brand, they typically come with two ways to connect them. This bolts onto the battery, becomes semi-permanent, and it has a pretty simple adapter here. You can run this length of wire under the seat to hide it, or through the bodywork to the bottom, and next time you do this, it becomes kind of a plug and play affair. Very simple. The other option is the good old alligator clips. Same idea, has the same adapter on the end. This is what I'm going with, just for reasons I guess, but you just want to make sure that you connect the positive first, then connect the negative. So once you've plugged in the charger, you'll see on the face of it has an indicator for different modes. One is lead acid, that'll also cover AGM. The other is lithium. You want this to be in the lead acid mode. That's important. Alright, so with all those steps complete, the last step is to pull the bike into a garage or carport. If you don't have one, that's fine as well. Either way, we're going to put a cover on it. It's just important to get a purpose-built cover. Don't cover your bike in plastic. Plastics can't breathe, and they also tend to build up moisture through condensation. And they trap that against the body of the bike, which is going to cause problems with corrosion, mold, and mildew. So I hope you liked the video. If you did, please click below, like and subscribe, and thanks.